All right, let's jump right into this explainer and build your specialized 2026 AI stack. Look, right now, the landscape of artificial intelligence is just moving incredibly fast. And honestly, what worked for you last year is probably already starting to look a little rusty. So today, we're going to completely leave behind that outdated single-tool mindset and assemble a master toolkit of highly specialized AI tools that will fundamentally upgrade how you work.
You know, there's a core truth in the modern digital workplace that we really need to accept. The people who are using the right AI stack every single day, well, they have an unfair advantage. AI is totally transforming how we all operate, and just dabbling with it here and there, it's just not enough anymore. If you're not utilizing the exact right tool tailored for the exact right task, the gap between you and the people who are is only going to widen. You are essentially falling behind.
So that brings us to a massive question you've got to ask yourself right now. Are you making the ChatGPT mistake? Currently, there are tens of thousands of AI applications on the market, yet a huge portion of people just default to opening up ChatGPT for absolutely everything. They just dump all their writing, all their research, all their admin right into one generic chatbot. It's a classic single-tool trap, and to be blunt, it is holding you back from some truly incredible specialized capabilities.
Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, Writing and Communication, Mastering Your Unique Tone. Now, this is something we all do every day, right? But generic AI writing simply doesn't cut it anymore. It often has this weirdly enthusiastic, almost robotic tone to it, and it usually completely misses vital context when things get complicated. And that is exactly where Claude, specifically the Opus model, comes in. It handles complex contexts brilliantly. Imagine you've got this massive, messy email chain with a dozen replies. You can just paste that entire thread into Claude Opus, prompt it to address everything and move the conversation forward, and it will draft a reply that is near perfect. We're talking 0 edits required.
But what makes Claude literally a game changer for writing is a feature called a Claude skill. You can actually feed it examples of your own writing. So your specific tone, your personal quirks, your exact formatting preferences, and Claude saves all of that as a reusable style profile. So now, every single essay, project plan, or email it drafts for you sounds completely human. It sounds exactly like you.
Moving on to Section 2, Deep Dive Research, Escaping the Tabs. Think back to the absolute nightmare of manual web research. You know the drill. You search a topic, dodge a total barrage of ads, open up 20 different browser tabs, and try to piece together these generic summaries. It's totally chaotic. Well, contrast that with Perplexity. Perplexity acts as an answer engine rather than just a chatbot. Say you want to know the healthiest diet actually backed by science. Perplexity won't try to sell you a meal plan. No, it gives you cited sources and links directly to actual peer-reviewed studies. Plus, if you use its deep research button, it will actively cross-reference those studies against one another to build you a comprehensive research report in minutes. You just get this incredibly clean, highly organized workspace for every single topic.
All right, Section 3, Learning and Troubleshooting, your on-screen tutor.
So whenever you're stuck trying to learn a new piece of software, you'd normally have to endlessly scroll through forums or, worse, pay for a costly in-person tutor. But with Google AI Studio's Live mode, it takes literally 3 steps. Open Playground mode, click Real Time, and tap Screen Share. One creator shared a really great story about this. He had a missing media file in his video editing software and was totally stuck. By just following these steps and sharing his screen, Google AI Studio literally looked at his workspace in real time, instantly identified the missing digital comics file, and talked him through the exact right-click menus to relink it. And you can even interrupt it mid-sentence. It's basically like having an expert tutor looking over your shoulder who happens to know every piece of software ever made.
Next up is Section 4, Note-Taking and Operational Automation, Clearing the Chaos.
We've all been there. Meeting notes, random brilliant ideas, and project plans just scattered everywhere across our desktops. The solution here is Notion AI. It is not just a transcription tool, it's a searchable knowledge base that actually thinks right alongside you. Because your transcripts and action items live right next to your project documents in Notion, you can ask it a question like, "Hey, what did we agree on during last Tuesday's call?" And it will instantly pull the correct answer from a meeting you probably barely remember. It genuinely makes all those past notes useful again.
Now, behind almost any successful project is a whole lot of operational chaos, right? Chasing deadlines, copying data back and forth, reacting a day late. The automation tool Make solves this using what's best described as a glass box approach. On a completely visual canvas, a Make AI agent can literally read an incoming business email, figure out what the inquiry is about, draft a reply in the correct tone, and just queue it up for you.
You aren't blindly handing over your inbox. You retain total approval power. Make actually shows you an auditable reasoning panel explaining exactly why the AI chose the words it did. So it removes the admin friction without taking away your control. It's pretty amazing.
Section 5. Information absorption, zero hallucinations. This next tool is called NotebookLM, and its absolute superpower is that it only uses the sources you personally upload to it. That means no pulling random hallucinated facts from the wider internet. You can drop in massive PDFs, articles, or even YouTube videos and just ask it to synthesize clear answers based solely on those specific documents. But the most incredible feature by far is the audio overview. For example, in one of our sources, a really dense 50-page project management professional certification guide was dropped into NotebookLM. With just one click, the tool generated a highly engaging 15-minute two-host podcast conversation breaking down the entire document. So instead of forcing yourself to read 50 super dry pages, you just listen to the audio overview on your morning commute. Mind-blowing, right?
Moving to Section 6, Financial Admin and Pitching, the Back Office.
For the freelancers, the creators, and the business owners watching us right now, we know financial admin is a massive time drag. Chasing invoices and balancing books usually keeps you up way too late into the night. But toggling on Claude for Small Business essentially hires an AI financial manager for you. By connecting it to your existing financial stack, stuff like QuickBooks or PayPal, you can literally tell Claude to automatically reconcile your transactions, build out a 30-day financial forecast, and immediately flag anything that's overdue. It can even actively chase down those overdue invoices and prep your documents for tax season. It completely totally automates the back office workload.
And hey, when you actually need to pitch to secure that revenue, you no longer have to spend endless hours agonizing over PowerPoint layouts. Gamma AI builds a beautifully designed, structurally consistent slide deck from a single prompt in like 60 seconds. You could ask it for a pitch deck for a freelance design agency targeting tech startups, and boom, it's done. Even better, you can do on-the-fly redesigns. You just look at the generated presentation and tell Gamma, make slide 3 more visual, or add a comparison table to slide 5, and it flawlessly updates the layout right before your eyes.
And finally, Section 7, the strategic separation, the climax.
Okay, pay attention to this because this is the strategic paradigm shift that separates the amateurs from the pros in 2026. I know we mentioned earlier that relying only on ChatGPT is a mistake, but it definitely still has a vital place as your general life assistant. The secret here is what we call the strategic separation. See, AI models build up a memory around your situation. You want Claude to know your business inside and out, your professional tone, your client details, your complex workflows. Meanwhile, you want ChatGPT to know you personally, your travel habits, the exact cuisines you love for date night, your workout routines. By purposely separating these tools, their memories don't cross over. They don't get confused. Claude becomes an exceptionally sharp business tool, and ChatGPT becomes a flawless personal assistant. It makes both of them significantly deeper and much more accurate. Let's do a quick recap with this cheat sheet to really cement what we've learned. This right here is your specialized 2026 tech stack. For writing, you are using Claude Opus because it perfectly mimics your unique tone through Claude's skills. For deep research, you turn to Perplexity to bypass the ads and instantly cite actual peer-reviewed studies. And for admin and automation, Make and Notion AI allow for transparent, auditable workflow scaling, completely eliminating that operational chaos. Seriously, building this toolkit right now, today, puts you miles ahead of the curve. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. But before we go, I want to leave you with one really provocative question to think about. Which specialized tool will you add to your stack today? Look, don't try to adopt all of them at once. That's overwhelming. Just pick the one task that is causing you the absolute most friction right now, whether that's drafting emails, managing your finances, or synthesizing long PDFs, and apply the right tool for the job. Thanks for exploring this with me, and I challenge you to start transforming your workflow today.